Big Act Small Tuesday show. Today I'm going to talk to you about an idea that I've learnt about the support network that us leaders need. Us leaders of service-based businesses, we have got tough jobs at times. We've got great jobs and we've got tough jobs. And when bad stuff happens, who's got your back? That's the question I want to ask you today. That's a question I want to dig deep into, this concept of top cover. And it's something that I learned on the Think Big Act Small podcast, but we'll get deep into that soon. But first things first, the question to get you started is, who's got your back, or which group of people have got your back when you need a hand, when you need an ear to listen, when bad stuff happens in your business? Give it some thought. I'd love to know how we can dive into this and how I can share my experience and you can share your experience with me today. So let's give it a go. If you are here with me, please do say hello in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if you're here. Jeffrey is here. Good day, Jeffrey. Nice to have you with me on a Tuesday morning. Now this is Think Big Act Small video show. It happens every Tuesday and Thursday morning, 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. And your host, that's me, Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. I'm an entrepreneur with 17 years of experience, and I just love helping leaders like you of service-based businesses, probably with a team of somewhere between 15 and 50 people, maybe a little bit on the smaller side, maybe beyond 50, but mostly in that sweet spot that I work with of between 15 and 50 people. And this short, sharp show is for you to consider the idea of how you can think big on something and then act small and take some action to bring it to life and make sure that it does. You do take some action on that for during the next day, the next week, in the next hour, possibly. So that's me. I'd love to know you are here. Jeffrey's here. G'day, Jeffrey. Nice to have you back. I know you're on the replay on Thursday, but nice to have you back here live. Thanks for showing up as usual. Jeffrey, you're here with me live. There's others who are showing up as well. And if you're here on the replay, please get involved in the comments. If you'd like to comment down there, you absolutely can. If you'd like to send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au, you certainly can. That's a way to get involved as well. And lastly, if you don't want to comment or you don't want to send me an email, but you just want to consider the ideas, then get on with your day and your week, then go for it. There's no obligation. That's absolutely sure. Now, this idea of top cover, I first learned of it on the Think Big Act Small podcast, which is a regular podcast that I do host. We're up to episode 99, but as I share my screen over here, let me find this. Firstly, the definition of top cover. The definition, it comes from the military, and the definition of top cover on the screen there you can see is combat airplanes flying at high altitude to protect from air attack. A military force, especially over other planes flying at lower altitude. I think you get it. It's a higher plane flying in the sky above a lower plane to provide cover, to make sure that they've got support and got cover from the top, so to speak. Now that's the definition. But if I go over here to this Think Big Act Small podcast page, this is on tristanwhite.com.au, and you'll see episode 55 is one of the episodes that was published, and it's with Paul Mead, who happens to be the co-founder of SheMaps, which is a really interesting business. It's a business that really is about improving STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths into schools, and real focus on helping females really get involved with drones and with some great technology in schools. But Paul's got a history of military before he became an entrepreneur. And he learnt in the military about the power of top cover. And that is that when you're a new leader in the military, you get trained, there's heaps of training, and then you actually get some support, and you get an experienced leader who's done it before, who's seen most of the challenges, and worked through these support systems in the room or in the group with you. And they absolutely are there to support you, but they don't get in the way. They're there to support and help. And Paul explained this so beautifully. Check out episode 55 on that podcast if you'd like to hear Paul explain it better than I can. But the concept is that as leaders, we're always more junior than someone who's been there before us, who's supported us, who has seen the challenges before us, and is on just a step or two further up the rung, if you will, on the ladder of leadership experience. And that is what top cover is. And top cover is where you've got someone to turn to support you, to help you out when things get tough, when you're a bit stuck, when you're not sure what to do. yes, we can engage with our teams, and our teams can be a great support network as well. But by the same token, sometimes we need a confidential ear of someone who can say, I get it, I hear you, I understand the stress, the challenge. Let's consider this. Let's figuratively put their arm around you and support you to be the best person or the best leader you can be and work through the challenge. So the question is, who have you got in your support network who is providing top cover to you as a leader? If you just joined us, my name's Tristan White. This is a Think Big, Act Small video show, and we're talking about the idea of top cover, and that is who's got your back when bad stuff happens, when you're stuck with a challenge as a leader of a service-based business. Who's got your back? Who supports you? Who can you turn to as a support network? Is the concept, and it's learnt from the military, the concept of top cover. Now I can see a couple of comments here. Jeffrey writes that your support network includes my wife and a coaching and mentoring group with quarterly retreats. Jeffrey, that is strong. That is a strong network by the sounds of things. You've got support, you've got people around you, and you've got a regular rhythm of checking in. Hopefully that also means that you can check in if you're stuck on the ad hoc sort of stuff, because a rhythm is really important. I think it's so important. Weekly, monthly reflection and review and support groups, and also someone that you can turn to when and if you get stuck, which happens. Carmel is here. Carmel writes, "G'day, Carmel. Nice to see you. Morning. Working on my physical self first up. Very, very important, Carmel. No worries. Nice to have you here with us." So that's top cover. And so over the years, as I've learned about this concept of top cover from Paul Mead, I've been reflecting on how I've got it and which parts of my life. And my wife absolutely is definitely a part of the support network for me. One of the biggest supporter and cheerleader and I guess friend. And we all need good friends to turn to connect with. I'm also very, very fortunate to have built a group of accountants from a finance perspective, mentors who are much more senior and older than I am. And also I love connecting with people that come at it from a different perspective. So different industries, different genders, ages, all that sort of stuff. I think you can get great support from various places. And I just want to make an important point here for me anyway, and that is that for years I've always looked towards some inspiring leaders and inspiring mentors and inspirations, I suppose. And you can talk about people like Richard Branson, for all those years, or more recently Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, all these type of amazing, famous celebrity entrepreneurs. And there's so much we can learn and be inspired by leaders like that. By the same token, in my experience, the best top cover and the best mentor that I think I've ever found are people that are just a rung or two higher on the ladder or more experienced than I am. If I want to grow my team to 50 team members, then from 20 to 50 team members, which is what we did at the Physio Co between 2009 and 2012, then learning from someone who's got a 20,000 person business is probably not the right moment or the right support or inspiration for me. And so in which case, seeing someone who's just got between 100 and 200 team members or between 50 and 100, just a few rungs ahead is more valuable in my experience than thinking trying to learn from the big end of town, if you will. That's probably a little bit of a different topic, but mentors and inspirations are important. But first things first, let's get back to top cover. And that is who's got your back. If you've got someone fantastic, Carmel, I reckon you've got made a comment here. Let me check out what you're saying in terms of your top cover. Top cover support. Good question. My husband and a couple of online pet rehab groups. Excellent. Someone at home, your husband is great support. Jeffrey said his wife, my wife is also super helpful for me. By the same token, an online group of support is super helpful as well. And these days, top cover has evolved in that it used to be a walk and talk or a phone call was one of the only ways we get it. Online communities, all sorts of things like that is so helpful. So that is the concept of top cover. I can see, Carmel, 5 is more than enough for you. Five team members, Carmel. That is an important reflection, Carmel, and that is that the perfect team size is the team that you choose. Us service-based leaders and entrepreneurs sometimes can feel pressure to continue to grow and to scale up, if you will. But we don't have to. We can focus on the team size, which is perfect for you, and then build ourselves into a small giant, or which is a book that was written by Bo Burlingham. Small Giants is about having a quality impact on your community or your group of people you serve, as opposed to thinking you have to scale up and be everything to everyone, which is what many people feel pressured to do. So, really important point there, Carmel. Alrighty, I reckon we're getting towards the end. Today has been a question about your support network. Who's got your back? Who's your top cover, if you will, from a military perspective? Please give it some thought today. Who do you turn to at the moment? Who do you habitually turn to? How could you reconsider? How can you consider whether that is the right support network? And I'm not saying it's the wrong, but the broader group of support you've got so you can choose the right person to go to at the right time is critical. I'm not saying have a huge group that you go on check and check and check and check. You have to be responsible for your own decisions. But if you've got a finance related challenge, then having some top cover support from someone who knows their finances is really important. If you've got a marketing related challenge, then having a marketing related person to go to for top cover support. If you've got simply a relationship or communication related challenge, then let's definitely have someone in our corner to help us with that. Let's give that some thought. Alrighty, that's about it. My name's Tristan White. This is the Think Big, Act Small video show. Tuesdays and Thursdays when you'll find me. I'm back this Thursday, 8:45 a.m. to 9 a.m. But Jeffrey and Carmel and other regulars, a quick update is that the next 2 weeks after this week are some school holidays here in Victoria, and I'm going to have a short break from these shows. We're going to hopefully, fingers crossed, as a family, better move more than a few k's from our house and get away just a little bit. No promises, but either way. Whether I'm at home or whether I'm heading off for a short break, no Think Big, Act Small video shows for the 2 weeks after this week. So yes, I'll be here on Thursday. No, I won't be here for a couple of weeks after that until early October. For the time being, my name's Tristan White. This has been the Think Big, Act Small video show. Great to have you with me. Consider what's your top cover? How could you improve it? And lastly, remember, as you get onto your day-to-day, remember, think big and act small. Catch you later.